I'm going to go in the order that I've picked. So my top teams is what I'm going to start with, and my top team, it's a very close fight. In fact, it's a tie. I'll only take one team's name because we'll go one by one. So I'm going with Gujarat Titans. I think they did a stellar job in the auction, and I'm looking at their squad. In fact, I've said it before, they kind of remind me of the old Rajasthan Royals in being very prudent in their selection, very smart. They know exactly what they want, and I'll give credit to the backroom staff led by Ashish Nehra. So they've always done a good job. They'll have a continue sort of a status as well because they kept their core in the auction. So that also continuing with that core, that mentality, you've been a team together, that also helps. We've seen it in the past, like teams like CSK do it, Mumbai do it, but GT is also doing that. So very stable team in that sense. They score very highly on my batting parameter with Gill, Butler there, Sai Sudarshan, good form, Glenn Phillips might come in. Then they have the firepower in SRK, Tewatia, Sundar, all of them
Rashid
in
in
that.
that.
Yeah, Rashid till 8. So good there, spinners, you can't doubt them once you've got a Rashid, and this Sundar is a different Sundar now with the Indian team on a different high altogether. So they're pretty much two all-rounders, both spinners I'm looking at. So gives you that balance. The pacers look very good. Rabada, Siraj, Koitsi. Imagine the kind of pace attack that will come
Only
up.
one will play though.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I've actually fitted both.
Both, okay.
No,
Because
no,
Butler,
one,
Rashid,
sorry. I could even take Glenn Phillips out and get another. But I tell you what, you're right. They can play one because the other area that they get a lot of points for me is backup. I'm just going to name. They've got like a Prasidh Krishna sitting there, so he can come in spinner. They've even got a Sai Kishore, so I can look at him come at certain place. They've got Jayant Yadav, who's an all-rounder. I know.
Nishant Sindhu, Mahipal Lomror.
Yeah. So
and even Kareem Jannat for pace.
Kareem Jannat is there for pace.
They've got Arshad as well.
Yeah, Arshad Khan. Yeah. So good backup, good squad, everything all round. The stable captain who was captain previously. They've won a title before. That makes a huge difference. Captain may have changed, but a lot of players still remain. So all of those things put together, GT GT will be before CSK because I'm actually ranking them in the order that I've selected. In fact, there will be another team that will come before CSK for me so I'm putting it in order. So these are the two teams.
GT makes it to my list as well. I think one of the finest jobs that we saw yesterday at the auction table was done by GT, and one of the few teams I can say were really prudent and smart about the way that they went about their business. You look at some of the names, their retentions were good to begin with, and it came as a bit of a shocker as to with the talent that they had last year that they finished so badly. But for what we saw from them over the last 3 years, the core is intact. And have they gotten stronger? I'm just looking at have they gotten stronger or not, and I think they have gotten stronger from where they left off last year. Their bowling unit, I think, is one of the best bowling units I think that any team has. It's one that you will envy. It's centered around a lot of Indian talent, but look at that Indian talent that you're talking about as well. There's a Prasidh, there's also Siraj, who's going to be he's going to be there, and there's got then you've got Rashid, you've got Sundar, there's Kodzi as well, there is a Rabada, so there's plenty of good talent out there. In fact, they're spoiled for choice at this point. Who those top four foreign picks would be. Yes, Kodzi is going to Rabada is going to be there, Rashid's going to be there. Glenn Phillips, whether he makes it or not is another thing, but Gill gets the support of a Butler now and a Sai Sudarshan, who again impressed a lot last year, so he fits in at number 3, looking like a very promising team to me.
That's why I'm saying they have the kind of bowling lineup on any pitch. So if they go to Wankhede, they can jack up their pace bowling. If they go to a chip hawk, they can play 3. They can even get a Sai Kishore in because Washington and Rashid give you batting, so you can go with another spinner.
Absolutely.
So that's the balance that they can work with. That's why I think an incredibly well balanced squad that Gujarat has put.
Even for surfaces like Chennai, let's say, sorry Siddharth.
Yeah, that's what I said, chip hawk spinner.
Yeah, exactly. Because, somebody like a Kodzi comes in very handy because he knows how to take the pace off the ball. He can make use of not Rabada that much, but and Siraj also I will add, because Siraj more hit the deck and it doesn't quite work at a place like Chennai.
Can be a Wankhede specialist also.
No, but Rabada also can cut pace.
But Kadzia is a smart operator, as we've seen. So yeah, looking very good to me.
For the first time, I think
all of us agree.
Oh, right.
And They were
Well done
number
there.
one.
Pawan's clapping also.
Yeah, they were number one, and they were the number
Okay,
one
they are
team for
number
me.
one for you. Yeah,
Yes.
one
They've
for
done
me
something
and
right for sure. Yeah.
Because it's an all-round team for all conditions. You want spinners, variety, you got it. You want pacers, swing, hit the deck, you've got it. You've got proven performers in the lower middle order, you've got it. Now with Butler and Gill, like how Yashasvi and Butler stole the show for Rajasthan Royals, expect them to do the same this time also. And Shubman Gill will be desperate to ensure that he has a great season. Last year, it was very mixed for him. This year, he wants to make a statement. Butler, we know, one of the overseas goats in the IPL.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that is why, and of course, one more sentimental favorite, A.B. Tewatia, man. That guy, 360, he can really, and of course, since it's guaranteed that they will win 2 games versus Punjab thanks to A.B. Tewatia. Because of A.B. Tewatia. So, GT for me,
Which is the West Indian that's getting targeted over there this time?
that's why I think they may have not picked anyone
That's why Punjab's not going. Oh my.
Exactly.
for the A.B. Tewatia factor. But then they are seriously a damn good team. And they have covered all bases up. And that's why I put them as number one. They will be the number one team in
Okay, so we're done with one of each choices.
So Siddharth's only left with one.
Siddharth's slot is almost full. So Siddharth, yeah, go ahead.
You can reverse the order. You can
Yeah,
You can
actually, because,
reverse. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
let's
Let's
see
go
how-
reverse.
how-
So I told you I have 2 teams pretty neck and neck,
Yeah.
which I think should be finalists for me. One thing, there's a disclaimer which I want to, talk about that. The one thing that I noticed this time is that it's the closest that teams have come together. If each team right now sitting in their homes or their offices, wherever, is confident about making the playoffs, I won't blame them, or confident about winning them, I won't blame them, because on paper they're all very close. I know that IPL is always close, but I'm just going back to my previous auctions. I was always able to pick 2-3 on top, 2-3 at the bottom, and there was a big gap sometime, and it was easy to do it. This has been the toughest for me to really differentiate the margins for me, because I have a point system that I give based on different parameters. That's how I grade the teams. They've all been either 0.5, 1 point difference. Even, dare I say, from the top to the last team in my grading would at best have 3-4 point difference. That's not much. So what is that telling me? That all team are very well balanced. And while we criticize, going back to the mega auction all the time, saying that why do you want to play with a core? I think this is the advantage of going back, that you allow
Levels the playing
teams,
field.
correct, you just, even the playing field, allow teams to come back, and everyone came with a strategy, and most teams seemed happy. So, what they wanted, they've got. It's just the perspective that changes as to how you're looking. And the problem arises, that's what I'm saying. So you grade them, you look at the balance and break it down into different parameters as I've done. The problem arises is, I'm just giving an example, like, if it's a KKR, you don't know whether Narain experiment works, doesn't work this time. It works, great, doesn't. Which Russell comes, you don't know. Which Maxwell comes for, a team you don't know on a given day. So those are the areas. If they are all firing based on their form, and if we knew that all of them are going to perform to their ability, then it's pretty easy, I can tell you. But once the tournament starts, who's playing to their potential, who's not, we don't know. And that's when then your predictions tend to go wrong.
Yeah.